Hello fellow old schoolers and welcome back to some more old school magic here. Now this is a match from the Mono Wars mini format and we'll go over the rules real quick here. And if you don't want to go over these and the deck text, you can just go to this point and for the first match. Now the first rule of this is that every deck must be monocolored and no artifacts are allowed and no power is allowed either. So no blue power for those blue mages out there. So every matchup is a monocolored against a monocolor, and all lands must produce the relevant type of mana. That means no colorless mana and no mana of a different sort of mana than the monocolored deck can use. So in essence, you can use Caracas if you're white, you can use Pendelhaven if you're green, but you can't use Library of Alexandria, and you can't use factories and workshops and stuff like that. And no Diamond Valley either, because lands that produce no mana are not allowed either. And though anti-color cards are allowed in this format, there are no sideboards allowed, so you gotta play with those anti-colored cards in your main deck. So that means even though they're very strong against the appropriate color, like a circular protection against black will be very mean against it, but it will be a dead draw against any other matchup. So yeah, it's a balance to strike here. Let's go over this particular matchup and the decks that are presented here. Now this is the first red version we've tried to brew here, and it's characterized with just a heck of a lot of burn and 3 mana flares just to really ramp those X spells up. We also have lightning bolts and we have pyrotechnics and chain lightnings and just a bunch of stuff to remove critters and creatures with, because yeah, it's a creature heavy format after all. There are even fissures here to remove both lands and creatures if needs be. There's even a falling star here. It functions sort of like a chaos orb in terms of that you flip it, but the opponent has to lay out his creatures like card to card, very close to each other, and all the cards that you hit with the falling star will take 3 points of damage. So just even more creature removal. All the creatures in the decks are just a bunch of dragons mainly. There are 2 walls of heat, but other than that, it's granite gargoyles, dragon whelps, and Shivan dragons, and they all fly, which means that the earthquakes will just clear out all the ground forces, and then the dragons can get in and will just burn out. Both dragon whelps and Shivan dragons will produce a lot of offensive punch, boosted by those mana flares, and the granite gargoyle will be a defender dragon that can pumps its toughness with red mana, and we'll have an abundance of that. For the single Wheel of Fortune is the red power card after all, and we also have a single fork there, just as like a toolbox card. It's a pretty great feeling to fork the other guy's Brain Geyser or Demonic Tutor, and certainly forking another Mind Twist. And in this case, it can be used to fork, for example, a Swords to Plowshares. Now, red is a bit scared of white because there is a bunch of very nasty anti-red cards in the white toolbox. So we have put in a couple of very mean flash fires here. Those have been dead draws against all other matches, but they might come in handy here. So even if white puts down a circular protection, for example, a flash fire will just clear out his planes, so he can't pump any mana into the circular protection, and then he can be fireballed away. Or mana flare pump dragons can go in for the kill. So red is pretty armed to go up against white here. Let's see what white brings. And this particular version of white has gone for a different strategy. Just a lot of critters here. We have Savannah Lions and Mesopegasi, White Knights, and Thunder Spirit to overrun the opponent. Then we have the Northern Paladin. Works as a 3/3 creature, but and also excellent card against black. And we have 3 Serra Angels. And those special creatures like Preachers and Witch Hunter that can be used against other creature type decks, like stealing the creatures or unsummoning them. And if nothing else, the Witch Hunter can just ping the other guy out. The Bodyguard will protect the white player against creature aggression, most forms of creature aggression, especially in combination with the Castle that'll give him +2 in toughness, and that works well with the Serra Angels as well. As they won't tap and they will be boosted in toughness as long as they remain untapped. Then we have 4 Swords to Plowshares and a couple of Spiritlings, only a couple of Disenchants, as they are not that great against in this format, as there aren't that many artifacts, or there aren't any artifacts and aren't that many enchantments anyway, that white fears. Holy Light has done a ton of work in white's other matches in this format. If I owned them, I would really consider maybe perhaps even 4 in the deck. And then we have the Armageddon in combination with the land tax. The Armageddons can be cast after you put down some small critters, and then to finish the game with that, or it can be used in combination with the land tax to mana screw the opponent and be less mana starved yourself because you've used that land tax. And then white has used in this format so far both the conversion and the Greater Realm of Preservation. Now, Greater Realm of Preservation is an expensive form of Circle of Protection that works against both black and red, so it will come in handy here. And then we have the conversion, which will just be a brutal card against red, because it turns all mountains into plains, and red can't do anything with that. So yeah, white is very armed against red as well in the decks we have created here. And mind you, these decks are just a first draft in this format. They're not tailored against each other. Rather, these exact decks have been playing all the other colors as well. Oh, and one final thing. It might seem odd that there are no Crusades in this version of white, because there are so many white creatures. But yeah, we kind of feared a mirror matchup. Well, you just kind of boost the other white guys' creatures with your Crusades. So in this brew, we've opted for the castles instead. A user on this channel actually recommended Angelic Voices to us, as they only boost your own white creatures +1/+1. So that could be a very, very viable choice as well. We didn't think of that, but it might come into another brew later on. Anyway, these are the versions we're going to see here, at least. So let's get it on for round number 1 here. And red is on the play, playing a mountain. There's a plains from white and a Savannah Lion turn 1, getting immediately shut down by a lightning strike. So yeah, I predict this will probably be a common occurrence in this matchup. Let's see what white can get out here. Mesa Pegasus. How long? I wonder how long it will live though. Getting disintegrated out of the game here. But it is a 1-to-1 so far, each player losing a card. That's a white knight though. I hope for red that he has more in his hand against it. He has a mana flare. He should perhaps have held back with that disintegrate then. Ooh, that's a... Ah, man. And even shows his hand. There's no reason for that. But there's an Armageddon after that. Yeah, after that Greater Realm Preservation. And now red is pretty screwed. He was about to forfeit the game there, I think. I don't know. But yeah, it just came a second before the flash fire came in. Ooh, Spirit Linking on the white knight here. So now, okay, getting immediately bolted though. Otherwise, white would just accumulate so much life that red would be hard pressed against him. But there is that. Oh, there's a Serenial. There is that Greater Realm of Preservation. Red needs to cast that flash fire as soon as possible. Another Armageddon here. Wow, those lands are just getting brutalized here. Serenial coming over. No white mana for white to use his Greater Realm though. But he doesn't need it. He just casts the Serenial and then just Armageddons everything out. He even had a couple of Swords to Plowshares here as failsafe. So yeah, white takes the first one, almost playing like an Armageddon here. Casting creatures and just bombing the land base out. Let's go for the second match here. Pretty quick first one here. Okay, red is obviously on the play again, playing a mountain. Okay, land tax turn 1 from white. Totally different strategy here. So Mesa Pegasus coming out. Now red can handle it just fine, fireballing the horsey away. Another Mesa Pegasus. I think white is holding back with those planes because he wants to use the land tax. But red won't allow it. He doesn't play a mountain. If red plays a mountain here, the land tax can be activated. So yeah, it's a stare down. Each player refusing to play another land. Okay, here's white coming down with a Preacher though. Now red can play a mountain, yeah, and he does so here. And just Chain Lightning on the Preacher. Another Preacher coming out. More creatures into the green meat grinder here. Okay, so fourth plane from red. No, doesn't choose to. Nope, choosing to stay back with the mountain just to keep white away from that land text, electing to just Chain Lightning that Preacher away. As a Thunder Spirit though, the Preacher just keeps on coming. Getting lightning bolted away. Okay, there's a fourth mountain though. First Flash Fire hitting the table here, burning all the planes away. But now I'm not sure about that play, because now white can activate his land tag, so it won't. I suppose it will, delay him a bunch here. That's probably the idea behind it. But with that land tags out, yeah, I'm not so sure, because he siphons them out of his deck as well. But red is ahead now. So coming out with a Dragon Whelp here, but white doesn't need that much mana to handle it. He can just Source the Plowshare. Yeah, he's just using that land text each turn now. Now, the main thing here is that it will increase the odds of him drawing a non-land card later on. So, yeah, I'm not so sure about that Flash Fire as said. It is debatable. Now another plane coming out. Oh, Spirit Link on the Dragon Whelp. And then discarding a planes. White must have about 5 more planes or 4 more planes in hand. So the Spirit Link will, whatever damage the Dragon Whelp will ever do, the white player will just heal up afterwards. Though it is important to mention here that if the Dragon Whelp can kill the white player, he'll die before the Spirit Link takes effect. So it's not like Lifelink. If the Dragon Whelp can be boosted enough, it can kill him in one go. Ooh, 2 mana flare say, yeah, okay, that might be very relevant here. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20 points of damage in the next attack step from that Dragon Whelp. If it gets in, it can kill the white player here in one go. Oh, but there's a Bodyguard. So the damage will go to the Bodyguard instead. And a White Knight. White just saving himself in the nick of time here with that Bodyguard. So even if the Dragon Whelp gets in, it'll just heal white up and the Bodyguard will take the damage. But otherwise, red could have actually finished the game in one smash there with the Dragon Whelp because of those mana flares. Now red needs to work fast here before white gets the Circular Protection out. Or Greater Realm of Preservation, or a conversion, obviously. Okay, that's a lot of mana. That's 15 mana. What on earth? Earthquaking. My god. Really? No, 12 points. It's 11 points of damage, if I'm not mistaken. And then a Shivan Dragon. Now, can't he get in? 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. No, barely, not enough. Okay, activating the land text again, and that Shivan Dragon that got out there, it will kill the white player in the next turn. So, white scrambling for defense here. Ooh, there's a Greater Realm of Preservation. Saved in the nick of time again. Now, a Flash Fire at this point would be game ending because he can't activate the Greater Realm. Okay, taking with the Shivan Dragon, and the Greater Realm is activated, just blocking the Shivan Dragon. Now, if white plays too many cards here, it might be very dangerous because he can play a creature and then red can perhaps fireball it away and then get in with the dragons. Witch Hunter coming down here. Okay, you can now unsummon those dragons. if he wants to. Another dragon coming out and another couple of attacks with the dragons. It's fair enough, but there's so much mana from those mana flares that White can just block them all with the Greater Realm of Preservation. Making sure not to play too much here. Yeah, playing a couple of small creatures from a single plains. Those dragons just drooling and foaming by the mouth, but they can't get in as long as I said, Greater Realm. Now the Witch Hunter is starting to ping the other guy at the end step, just shooting him for 1 each turn. Benelish Hero coming out here. So we see White has far too small critters here to make use of those mana flares, but he is kept alive by the Greater Realm. Just slowly pinging Red away here. Another one, just an army of creatures on both sides here. Red is waiting for a... Okay, now shooting the Witch Hunter with the lightning bolt. Red is... yeah, he's waiting for that flash fire, I presume, or waiting for White to make a mistake. If White taps out, or taps too many lands, Red can probably kill him with flyers and expels. All White's creatures are ground forces. There's a single flyer now, though. Red has 4. Still digging for... Yeah, it is a race here. Can White get a conversion before Red get a flash fire? Odds are actually in White's favor because he has siphoned so many planes out of that deck. If only Red had held back with the first flash fire, I think he could just end the game here. But he has more flash fires in that deck. Another lion coming out here. Is White trying to perhaps overrun Red in one attack? And Soft to Plowsharing a dragon. No, Soft to Plowsharing the... Oh, okay, Soft to Plowsharing the Granite Gargoyle. He was too afraid to Soft to Plowshare the Shivan Dragon because, he would gain too much life from it. Now, it seems like White is attacking in a band here. 6/5 creature with banding. What? Then Red is casting Fissure on the Benelish Hero, but he's doing that before the attack, it seems. Okay. So now, so now he can't band. As there's only the Benelish Hero as a banding creature. And there won't be enough banding creatures to make a band that's big enough to threaten the Shivan Dragon. Another Granite Gargoyle coming out. So Red, just a lot of defenders here. Both drawing here, trying to dig for something to break this stalemate between these huge armies. Now a Fireball could actually clear out the creatures as well. But it is the conversion that I'm afraid of here. And it is the flash fire. Any one of those, and that will likely be game. Okay, there's a Fireball coming out. That's a lot. An insane Fireball. Okay, they're just counting it up here. A huge Fireball rolling through all the creatures. Yep. He's trying every single White creature here. So now Red can just attack with everything. And White will have to use the Greater Realm again. Pretty lucky draw for White, that Greater Realm. And the Bodyguard before that. Another pesky little lion coming out. But it's puny compared with what Red has over there. And obviously, White's mana curve is not built to function under mana flares the same way that Red is. Source to Plowsharing another Granite Gargoyle. Yeah, he's reluctant to kill the big dragons, because they can be pumped in power instead of toughness for, yeah, a huge amount of life. White Knight coming out. Ooh, we need that flash fire out of Red here. Angel now. Okay, White is recuperating his losses here, putting down more and more creatures. Wall of Heat. Just passing the turn back and forth here. Okay, but Mr. Pegasus coming out now. He can perhaps band with the Serra Angel. No, okay. He could band with the Serra Angel though, and that would be a world of hurt. But again, the Granite Gargoyle could just block them for infinite toughness. But with the Source to Plowshares to back it up, White could start to pick off the Shivan Dragon if he could take out the Granite Gargoyle with the Source to Plowshares. Yeah, because with a band, the Mesa Pegasus will take the damage from the Shivan Dragon, and the Angel and the Pegasus will just gang up on that dragon and get it out of the way. But I mean, there are the Dragon Whelps as well, even the one with the Spirit Link. I mean, if there's a flash fire coming in, even the dragon with the Spirit Link can kill the White player in one fiery breath here, before the Spirit Link takes effect. And I think both players know this, that they have to finish the game before the other guy draws the killer card. Okay, here's the Falling Star. Okay, destroying 2 creatures here, perfect hit, doing 3 points of damage to both of them. I think that's a debut on this channel for Falling Star. Never seen it used before. Okay, another Serra Angel coming out here. It actually functions sort of like Chaos Orb did back in the day when I was a kid. Chaos Orb would destroy any card it touched, so it could destroy several cards in one flip, provided it hit them all. So people tended to spread their cards out really far to avoid Chaos Orbs. Cards. Okay, Source to Plowsharing, yet another Gargoyle here. Red might have a fork. He has something in hand here. And he did have a mountain, giving it a good think. Yep, okay, there's a fork. Now, both creatures are removed from the game. Red is starting to get a bit nervous here that he might be overrun by Serra Angels if there's another Source to Plowshares, because without that Granite Gargoyle, it is his main defender here, and he can tank about everything. Okay, Pyroclasm, Pyrotechnics on the Serra Angel. As a White Knight, it doesn't really matter as much. Another Dragon Whelp coming out, so Red just, yeah, slowly overpower White. But there's the conversion. White was the first to get it. So as a fast effect, it's a lightning bolt on the White Knight. Not a single creature on the battlefield left. But that conversion, yeah, what can Red do here? That is brutal. Red is just standing at the doorstep with all the dragons and all the power in the world, and getting blocked by having no access to red mana now. Castle coming out. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, a Spirit Link on the Shivan Dragon. I don't know if White has used up all its source supplies. Will this be a draw? I mean, how can White get through all those dragons? Seems like the game mechanics are broken here. Because White only has 4 Source to Plowshares. How will he make the kill? And how will Red make the kill? That combination with conversion and Red Realm. Yeah. Okay, first angel coming out. I suppose that if white can remove the single Sarah Angel, the single Shivan Dragon, I don't know if there's a fourth Swords to Plowshare he hasn't used. Casting Armageddon here. Why? That will destroy the conversion. I don't get that. Oh, he has another planes in hand. And then this is... Okay, this is brilliantly played, actually. Okay, so then Swords to Plowsharing... No, he should have Swords to Plowshare the Shivan Dragon, I think. Then attacking with both. Okay. Yeah, okay, so now the conversion doesn't die because he has played another place. Oh, okay, okay. Now, this is brilliant. The attack here, and then there's a fast effect that's played a Holy Light. That makes the Shivan Dragon into a 4/4, and it will trade with the Sarah Angel, and it will make the Dragon Whelp into a 1/2, and it will die to the 3/3 Northern Paladin here. So that part was pretty damn well played, but the Armageddon, I think that was a huge mistake because all those mountains are worthless for red at this point. Anyway, so why bomb your own planes away? It makes sense in order for him not to be able to cast his or to pump his dragons, but he can't anyway. There's the flash fire. Too late. Okay, red forfeits the game here. He can't play any more creatures, and he can't do anything. So it's just waiting on the chopping block for white to get out a Sarah Angel or any other creature that could just overrun red. What a game this was. I mean, white was pressured one round away from dying 2 times in a row, barely standing against the dragon onslaught with a lucky bodyguard coming in and saving the day. And yeah, there was just this race for to break the stalemate where red was just overpowering white every step of the way. But in the final analysis, there was a conversion coming down, and then that Holy Light with instant speed clearing out the red creatures, and then white could finish the game. Excellent matchup, pretty damn unorthodox here. Very reminiscent of like schoolyard magic with all the big creatures and armies are just amassing at the border of each player. So I feel like it's really back to the core of what Magic the Gathering was for us as kids. Speaking of which, here's a few quick pictures of my kids who have just been started to teach Magic the Gathering old school. This is Emma, my daughter. She's 5 years old, and this summer in the cabin in the woods, we played a bunch of Magic. She made her own deck featuring the artwork that she liked. So it's mostly white and blue with Mesa Pegasi, Pearl Unicorns, Air Elementals, and Water Elementals with Flight, and Merfolks, because she likes Disney's My Little Mermaid. And I think she's actually putting in a sneaky Water Elemental with Flight here in on her dad, flying over my undead army there with zombies and Wall of Bone. And here's a picture of my boy Gustav. He's 7 years old, and he has put down his own deck here with Hill Giants, Fire Elementals, and very cool skeletons and zombies, and Alibaba as well. So just stuff that he liked. Obviously fireballs as well, because those are cool. So I don't think old school is just a weird game for us old timers reminiscing about our childhood. The torch is passed on here, and if the kids like it, well, they can continue to play. And if not, well, that's fine as well. But at least this summer we had a bunch of fun with these homemade brews of theirs. Anyway, that's enough Mono Wars for this instance. We'll get back to this format as soon as possible. We need to get Blue in there as well. We haven't seen what he's up to. And next up, we'll have a couple of more fully powered games, and then we'll be back with the 7-point singleton. New format on the channel where the games has been sent to me from other countries in the world. See you next time.